Hey everyone, it's Dave.
Hey, it's Brandon
You're listening to Davenports on Sports.
on Davenports Sports Network.
Hey everyone, it's Dave.
Hey guys, it's Brandon.
Hey, thanks for joining us again. Really glad to have you back.
Yeah, guys, like and share us on Facebook at Davenport Sports Network. We got every day on this day in sports history. We got blogs and we got awesome polls every day. So, Dave, why don't you tell us about Twitter?
Yeah, we got some stuff going on Twitter too. We're putting up polls and just trying to interact with our listeners and all that stuff. Really some good stuff on Facebook and Twitter. So like us on Twitter at Davenport_SN and follow and retweet and all that good stuff. So
Absolutely.
yeah, let's go on and get this one rolling again. Last week we really talked about Carson Wentz. Well, let me rephrase this. We talked about mid-season MVPs, and we
Yes.
we talked about Carson Wentz pretty much locking that in, and now it seems like he's the talk of the town, and everybody's saying it. Not saying they're following suit from us by all means, but
Hey, man, we weren't afraid to talk about this guy.
exactly.
He's got 23 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. The Eagles are 8-1. And I mean, this past week he shredded the Broncos. He had 4 TDs. They won 51-23. Uh, he, Dude, the Eagles are just clicking on all cylinders. And with the Jay Ajayi trade, I mean, they got depth. They got a great defense. They got great offense. I mean, they look great.
Well, we speaking of polls and Twitter and everything, I put one up on Twitter today. We had some votes come in. Let me go on and pull that up. Give me 2 seconds here. So I put on there, I said, who is your NFL midseason MVP? Put in Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Prescott, and Cousins. Wentz has it at 75%, Prescott 17, Cousins 8, Brady's at 0. Brady's not having a
Oh
good
no.
year.
Oh my God. Terrific Tom.
Yeah,
He'll never be a true zero.
no,
Not with Giselle.
there's no way. There's no way. So, but no,
Well, dude,
mean, the people.
Carson Wentz, man. I mean, he's the guy right now, man. In the red zone alone this year, he's got 15 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he has not been sacked.
Not once.
Not once.
Man,
Not in the red zone. No.
wow. That's pretty good stats. That's Tom Brady stats right there.
It's Tom Terrific stats. It is.
Now that. I mean, he's performing. You can always say, well, what about next year? Is he going to get into a slump and all that? We talked on a show earlier that the NFL's what can you do for me now type of league,
Right.
and right now Carson Wentz is he's proven what he's worth. I mean, what
Young
you
quarterback.
agree?
Yeah. The X factor for any young quarterback in the league is health. So I mean, as long as this guy stays healthy, I don't see any issues whatsoever.
Yeah, the only thing that's really going to affect him is something along the lines that happened to Carr out in Oakland, or
Right.
something like that. But it. No, knock on wood. Hopefully nothing happens. But that's what you
Right.
got to play in the back of your mind. But so, do you see the Eagles as a Super Bowl contender this year?
I do. I know they're young. I know Wentz is young, and there's always a learning curve, and sometimes it's better to, to get kicked around first and maybe lose and learn a little bit, but I think they're playing so well right now, and they're going into a bye week, and once they get out of the bye week, they're at Dallas on Sunday night, and I just think that game. I think everybody, the NFL world, will be watching that night.
Oh yeah, the Eagles versus Cowboys. Oh
Yeah, because everybody's already kind of talking about the Cowboys again. It doesn't take much if the Cowboys win a couple games. Everybody's back on that bandwagon. So
yeah, yeah. No, I mean you see that every year. You know
yeah,
they're not having a year like they did last year. The Cowboys, that is. But
I can't believe I called them the Cowboys. They're the Cowgirls.
yeah,
Sorry.
you're off tonight. What's up with that?
I know, man.
But no, I mean, like I said, it's a what you can do for me now league, and hopefully wins can keep the momentum going. I mean, I'd love to see. I mean, the Eagles haven't been good since what when Owens and McNabb were together.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's been what.
Uh, uh, More than a decade, you know. And the leagues, like I said, I've always preached it, but the league's always better when certain teams are better, and it's just going to show that they're so fun to watch, you know. So
No, and yeah, I'm not knocking Brady, Belichick, or anything, but it does get old having the same teams every year in, and hopefully maybe we can get a Eagles Oakland game going.
yeah, well, maybe that's such it's a great problem to have when you're Tom Brady and Bill Belichick that you win every year consistently and people just kind of put you to the wayside. I mean, that's a hell of a problem to have
Yeah, yeah. I
because
mean,
they're still contenders. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you can never count them out. You can't.
no way.
It all matters. We talked last episode about that whole Ezekiel Elliott thing going on.
Oh, good lord.
Winning games later in the season. All they got to do is win those key games, win at the end of the year, and they can make a Super Bowl run. I mean, Tom
Oh,
Brady is clutch in the playoffs.
absolutely. There's nobody I'd rather have. I mean, New England's 6-2, and I mean they're second in the AFC right now. I mean, if I was a betting man, that's the team I'd go with. I mean,
They just
but as far as the NFC, go ahead.
no, no, no. Go on, finish. Go on, finish.
But as far as the NFC goes, I really do think that the Eagles are the front runners. I don't think there's any doubt.
So the Eagles in the NFC.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, who you choosing for the AFC? I'm
Well, I
throwing you
mean,
on the spot here.
I would almost have to go with New England. I like how Pittsburgh's playing though. I think they always have an awesome defense, but dude, I cannot count. I am never going to count out Tom Brady or Bill Belichick in anything. So they're going to be my front runners till somebody does something about it.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, let me ask you this. We're talking, obviously we fill Philadelphia, New England, they're going to be going in. What about the ones that are going to show up out of the blue, your sleeper teams?
Well, I feel like right now that nobody's talking about the Saints. I mean, they're at 6-2. They're the quietest 6-2 team in the league,
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
yeah. I mean, Drew Brees, he is. Uh, he's a hell of a quarterback. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
He's already got a ring, and people don't talk about him like they do the Eli Mannings of the NFL.
Exactly, and that might be because Eli's got a couple rings. Breeze only has one. But still, he's been there and he knows what it takes.
Absolutely. I think a lot has to do with how he carries himself too. To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah, I agree.
he's not on Twitter every night, so I mean, you don't hear anything bad about the guy. So
Yeah, no, and I mean it don't help that he's from Purdue either. But that's a whole other topic.
breezes, breezes.
Breezes. But no, I mean, you got to look at them. You got to look at Jacksonville. I mean, Tennessee Titans even. They're what 6-3.
They're both sitting at 5-3 right
Five and
now,
three. I'm
but they're
sorry.
but they're fourth and fifth. They're the fourth and fifth seeds. So I mean, if the playoffs started today, so I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, dude,
yeah. It's gonna get interesting. I think this is a good year to watch football. I know.
absolutely.
But yeah, hi. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them things. So, but yeah,
Dude, I kind of like the Lions too, man. I know they're sitting at 500 right now. They're sitting at 4-4, but they're 2-0 in the NFC North, and we all know what's happening to Green Bay and Chicago. And I I'm not impressed with Minnesota. And Stafford's got 14 TDs and 4 interceptions. And their schedule, they have such a favorable schedule. They got Cleveland, Chicago, Minnesota, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Chicago again, Cincinnati, and Green Bay. That those are winnable games, man.
Yeah, I'm taking a peek at the schedule right now. I mean, I could see him maybe Baltimore giving him some trouble, but they got a pretty easy schedule coming up.
Yeah, and including with all the questions with the Packers and stuff right now. I mean, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, that quarterback situation seems like the key thing this year. That seems
Oh
like
yeah.
the theme. So you know, it, we'll see. You know what I mean? It's we're just midway through. So a lot can change. You know, like Houston, there was talks about possibly having that Colin Kaepernick come. And the coach kind of shrugged it off or whatever, politically correct. But it got brought up, and do these
If
teams need to give him a chance?
well, I'm not, dude. I'll be honest with you. I don't care what you do. I don't even care what you believe in. If you can perform on the field, I don't care. I don't care. Win me games, get me a ring. I don't care what you do. But I'm telling you, with all the issues at quarterback this year, and nobody's signing him, if we don't see Colin Kaepernick this year, we're not going to see him again.
Exactly. I mean that's kind of my feeling, because we have Green Bay, Houston, uh, Indianapolis. I want to say there's another team in there, but there's at least three teams right now needing a quarterback. Jacoby Brissett,
Cleveland could always use a quarterback like
yeah.
every year.
I mean, it's kind of one of them things that there's this whole thing where I read that he's supposed to come in and speak with Goodell and all that stuff, and all this stuff, and it's taken away from the football. You know,
Yeah.
it, you
Every
know,
day every day that goes by though, he is becoming a distant memory. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like the longer this goes on, the least, we don't think about him as much anymore, really. I mean,
We don't, unless there's a hurt quarterback, and it seems like there's other options. He's almost, everybody's complaining, but look, Tim Tebow went through the same thing. You know,
oh dear Lord, he did. He did.
I
He
mean,
did.
he did win games in the NFL. I mean, that is a hard thing to do. And it's just one of them things, man, where it's your. I don't even know what to compare it to. So
Right, but for every team that needs a quarterback, it's just the league is moving forward without him. I mean, look at like we talked about Carson Wentz, who's a second year quarterback. Look at Jared Goff, what he's doing with the Rams at 6-2. You know
exactly.
what I mean? He's got 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Just annihilated the Giants this weekend with 311 yards, 4 TDs, and then their next game at home against the Texans. So I mean, you got some young studs out there. So who cares about Colin Kaepernick anymore? You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah, I mean he is old news. But let's speak on the Rams a little bit.
okay.
They're a young team. Over, under. I'm gonna say 5 years. They're gonna win a Super Bowl. Are you under it or over it?
Oh my gosh. Well, what are they? They don't get their new stadium for a couple more years. I don't know. I
That
feel
all
like until
aside,
I'm going to say over. I'm going to say over because until they're officially playing at their own home, and not at the LA Coliseum, where I think they feel like guests every week. And last year Goff only started like 7 games, so I still don't think he's found his rhythm quite yet. I know Todd Gurley's a stud, the running back.
Sure, but I mean, that all being said, I mean they're performing pretty tough. I mean, they get a couple veterans in there to really guide that team along. I mean, you're saying over 5 years?
I think so. I
Okay.
think once they get a new stadium and everything, and they get a little more fan support in LA,
Yeah,
would help.
yeah. They don't really have much of that anymore out there. I mean,
It's crazy.
it's like a ghost town. It looks like. But okay. Let me bring this up. Derek Carr.
All right.
Okay, Oakland Raiders. Both of us are Oakland Raider fans.
Okay.
I'm
Raider
not.
Romo.
I'm not gonna hide that ever. So, how many Super Bowl rings over under? Okay, Super Bowl rings Derek Carr is gonna win. I'm gonna throw it out there. Three,
Jesus. Three?
three, over under.
I don't know. You can't win anything from the hospital bed, so you gotta frickin' stay healthy,
Sure,
dude. Under,
you're going
under.
under.
Raider Romo. Yeah, they got to bye this week, and when they come back, they're playing in Mexico City against New England.
Yeah, but that's almost like a home game. You seen it last year.
Uh, I know, but I did read where New England, they are staying in Denver after the Denver game, so they'll actually be closer to Mexico. So they're not traveling all the way from New England to Mexico. I think that's going to help. I know a lot of the team, has already been doing little promos and stuff down there. I don't know. Derek Carr's still Raider Romo to me. If he can go out and beat Tom Brady, he can be Derek Carr again. So
Well, hopefully they have the laser pointers out for that game. We're gonna need them. I mean, it's pretty.
hey, they did get back on track against Miami. Carr was 21 of 30, 300 yards, touchdown and interception, and Yeast Mode
Yes.
uh, got 2 touchdowns. What do you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I know. It really helped my fantasy out finally.
Oh my God, you start him?
Yeah, well, I did this week, and
Jesus.
yeah, well, you know,
Well, hey, this week it paid off there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he hasn't performed well. It's kind of, and everybody's talking like, oh, he scored 2 touchdowns, which is great, but
Right.
I'm not seeing. I don't have faith in the dude. I don't.
Yeah. He 14 attempts and 57 yards. You take away those 2 touchdowns,
Not good
it's
at all.
laughable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and he's 32.
Okay, I'm gonna throw another over and under out for you.
Okay.
How many Super Bowls does Andrew Luck win? And I'm gonna go with two. Over under.
No under. No, under for sure.
Let me
I
ask
don't
you
know. I don't
this:
even.
Does he
Go
win
ahead.
it? Does he win any with as a Colt?
That's my biggest issue because I don't know where this guy's gonna be. If he had a, I don't even know what's going on there, but
Well,
I would have to go under.
local media around here was blowing up on Jim Irsay. I mean, because of the comments with Tony Dungy and all that stuff.
Right.
I have a feeling the owner of the Colts organization is going to run their quarterback, the one that they sucked for a season,
Yeah.
out of town.
And it's like literally the worst time that this could happen.
Exactly.
We talked about how putting Andrew Luck on IR is going to free Brissett up to just worry about on the field, worry about playing football, and look what they go out and do to Houston. Brissett's 20 of 30, 308 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. T.Y. Hilton looks like a top 5 wide receiver in the league. He had 5 catches, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's second in the league in yards behind Antonio Brown. I mean, this is not the right time for the owner and all this for this to be coming out. They just had a positive thing, and now all this.
Yeah, well, it just seems like anymore with the Colts organization that you're going with there's always some sort of drama. I posted another poll earlier on Facebook about pretty much asking with the quarterback situation in Indianapolis, what do you do this off season with the quarterbacks they got? Do they trade Luck or do they trade Brissett? You know, my opinion, are they going to trade Andrew Luck and like they did Peyton Manning, and then Peyton Manning go win a Super Bowl somewhere else? They're going to be afraid to. I
They're
think
they're at two different places in their career.
sure, but Ursay when and I know he said he was happy and all that stuff for Manning, but in the back, it had to really burn his ass a little bit to know he traded him and he could have got another Super Bowl to Indianapolis maybe.
Yeah, and there was absolutely no reason to pull the trigger on something like that. I mean,
See,
I hate to bring it up, but I mean, you would want your young guy to play behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But
yeah, I mean, but I think what really affected that was the money. Peyton was supposed to get a bunch of money, so I guess it's not my money, so it's easy to sit here and say, well, keep Manning. But this situation is totally different. But like I said last show, Brissett goes out there and turns that organization around and gets him a wild card spot or something. do, do, you,
right,
do you keep Locke? I
I don't know.
mean,
And right now, they're sitting with the fifth pick right now in the draft. If the season ended today, they would get the fifth pick. So I mean, I don't know, man.
it,
There's
it,
just
it,
a lot of turmoil right now.
they almost need to hit the whole reset button on that organization. Keep Ballard. I mean, look what he did for Kansas City.
Right,
But you know, me personally, get rid of Luck. He's got to be
man.
there.
That's tough. That's tough though, man.
Yeah, but what's he done for this organization? This guy has not performed in the playoffs and got him to the Super Bowl and got him a ring.
He's still not 30 years old. I think he'll be 29 at the start of next year. I think you owe it to the kid to give him a shot. But like I said, if he goes out there and he stinks it up for 4 or 5 games, I know it's over. And we know the suck for Chuck now. Who knows?
Well, you just said he goes out there and let's say Luck does stink it up, you know, blows 5 games or whatever. More than likely, they're going to trade Brissett in the offseason. Then what do you got?
Yeah, that's the most unfortunate part about everything is they've never had a backup
Yeah.
to anybody.
I mean,
So
will they keep Brissett? I mean, they easily could, but in the back of my mind, Ballard has to be thinking, man, if he performs well, what can I get? You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's an
I
interesting situation.
well, and I read today the cornerback Vontae Davis.
Hmm.
He's been with the Colts 6 years.
Okay.
He didn't travel to Houston, and he is really all over Pagano about it. Yeah, he's had some groin issues, but he's got one foot out the door. So I mean, I don't know, man. I'm thinking you could be right. I think Pagano is going to go before Luck.
Oh no, yeah, I have no doubts Pagano will be gone before Luck, but I just you know Ursay says Luck's issues in his head. I, no,
Oh
I
my
mean
god.
I kind of paraphrase there, but
Which head?
exactly, exactly. you know, but it just it's one of them things where you know how can it's not in his head. He did have the surgery. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
There's something up.
That's the worst place to have a problem too, dude, mentally. I mean, we talked about Carr how he looks afraid to get hit and what's going to happen, but that's the worst thing. Even if he's healed, if he's not mentally healed and he's worried about getting hurt, he's not going to be the same.
Exactly. I mean, he's going to always. The dude's gotten tore up behind that offensive line. And, I
Yeah,
mean, sacked after sack after sack. And, he has to be worried. I mean, can I sit here and say having five, you know, huge grown ass men coming wanting to knock my head off? Yeah, I'd be a little scared. I mean,
right.
who wouldn't? But, you know, he had the surgery. You know, Drew Brees, he had a surgery. I don't think along the same lines, but he had shoulder surgery, and he turned around and went to New Orleans and won him a Super Bowl. I mean, maybe Luck needs change of scenery.
Yeah, hey, you never know. You never know. Luck and Pagano could be gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It,
I
it's
mean,
it's 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 a lot to do. I don't think they're going to give up on Luck. I don't.
so you think Luck will be here next year?
I do. I think they would frickin' burn down Lucas Boyle Stadium if they traded him.
Yeah, that you know, you just never know though. I mean, nobody ever thought in a million years they'd trade Peyton Manning.
That's true.
I
That's
mean,
true. But I think they do. I think he deserves a shot. I think he deserves a shot.
I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we ain't going to see this year, but let me ask this. And I asked on a show previous. He, do you think he'll start next year? First day, first week. I
He's
mean,
gonna have to.
you're
Yes,
yeah,
he's gonna have to.
your pause there worried me because if you don't, why keep him? You're paying the guy money. You know what I mean? That'd
Yes,
be what over 2 years.
yes, he's had plenty of time to heal. If there's an issue going into next season, that you've got to just eat the money. You got to eat everything else. You made a huge error, and he's a bust. He'd be a
Yeah,
bust.
yeah, not Ryan Leaf type deal, but
Right, but
he yeah. It
it would be what could have been, what might have been if he
the
can't
the thing is they
get
got a
healthy.
good GM there. They got a GM that can build a team. They almost need to just hit the reset button on everything and let Ballard build his team. Look what he did in Kansas City. You know, he brought in Alex
And
Smith. That was
yes, he's
huge.
been an absolute beast this year.
Yeah, when he was in San Francisco, he got replaced by Kaepernick.
And that's crazy to think now.
Yeah.
Dude, Alex Smith has 18 touchdowns and one interception, and the one interception was this last past game against Dallas.
Yes, I
He's
seen that.
second in the league in yards, third in touchdowns,
Man,
and the
that
Chiefs are 6-3. So I mean,
the dude is a I mean, that's Carson Wentz level there, ain't
it's near,
it?
it's near Carson Wentz level.
it, it's getting there, but no, I mean, yeah, Chiefs. What about them? Okay, let's think here. We were talking about Patriots. Chiefs have a very good chance to make a Super Bowl this year. As bad as I hate to say that, it
I
kills
know I
me.
hate it. I hate Travis Kelce, their tight end. I hate that guy.
But being professional, doing the show, I
Yeah,
will say this: they could have a chance to win. Do I like it? No. I mean, it kills me to say it, but they have a very
I know.
strong chance of winning the championship this year. I mean, I think
Dude, Kareem Hunt, they're so good. Go ahead.
no, no, go on, you're good.
They got Kareem Hunt, who's awesome. They're running awesome return man, and these guys are so young too.
You cut out there. I missed half of what you said there, man. We had some difficulties on my end.
Okay.
You were talking about
They've got
Kelsey.
oh yeah, Travis Kelce, can't stand him.
Yeah,
But Tyreek Hill, these guys are so young, man. They're so young.
yeah. I mean, they're going to be able to dominate for the next 5 6 years easily. But
Oh my god.
here's the catch though. There's talks about Alex Smith retiring this year. So I mean, they might be back square one. 'Cause that
Yeah,
quarterback
we should
position,
sign. We should start a petition. We can get him out of there.
I will start it up tonight.
We'll
We'll
get the
get,
walrus out of there too.
well, maybe he is kind of nice to look at every now and then.
Oh God.
But no, I mean, like I said, Ballard's done good with them, and now he's a Colt. We'll see. But we're talking about the Colts. Let's talk about the other team in Indianapolis, the
Yeah.
the Indianapolis Pacers.
Or the Indiana Pacers even.
Yeah, Indiana, Indianapolis. It's all the same.
We'll call them the Naptown Pacers from now
Naptown
on.
Pacers. Yeah, it's an off night for me. See, you can have an off night. I can have an off night, right?
It's our off nights. Yeah.
Exactly. It's all right, folks. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. But no, I
No,
mean,
but
they're doing good. I mean, am I wrong?
no, they're doing all right. They dropped a game to Detroit tonight, which moved them to 5-7. But Detroit's playing really good basketball. I think McMillan's got them playing really good team basketball right now. They've got 6 guys averaging in double figures. Oladipo's averaging 23 a game. Miles Turner's averaging 17 and 10. I mean, you can't for a team that was counted out from the get go. I mean, I think they're doing great.
Yeah. I mean, I watched some of the New Orleans game, and I watched the aftermath of it. And Oladipo, it's nice to hear a guy on that team take charge. He didn't
Yes,
make excuses. He threw it all on him. You know what I mean? Said if he wants to be the leader, he needs to do this. He needs to step up. Last year you had Paul George. He was too worried about getting out of there. So,
right.
it's kind of a fresh air to hear these players want to be on a team.
Yeah, and he wants to be the leader. That's good to hear because you need an identity.
Exactly. Now, that being said, do you think Oladipo should be the leader?
He's their leading scorer right now, and he went to IU, so that doesn't. I liked him. I like him. I like his style. But they're not a championship caliber team, but I think they can make a hell of a run to make the playoffs. I do.
What seeding do you see them at?
It's gonna be a 7 or 8 seed.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: we got Cleveland, which they're not in the best of shape right now. They're having their issues, but
Correct.
it's still way early in the season. We can't really sit here and predict. But well, I guess we can. We very good chance we could be wrong. But you know, what if Cleveland ends up with the lower seed or something? There's just so many variables where there's an upset in the playoffs with the Cavs or even the Warriors out west. I mean, could you see the Pacers making a bigger run that way?
Absolutely. As long as they keep playing basketball and not get too caught up in their wins and losses, they'll be fine. I mean, the Cavs right now are sitting at 5-6, and I mean, LeBron's doing all he can. He's averaging 29.
And we had some more issues here on my end. You cut out there, Brandon.
Okay. Cavs are 5-6. LeBron is averaging 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. Love is averaging 17 and 10. I think their biggest issue right now is not having Isaiah Thomas out there. He averaged 29 points a game last year, and he hasn't played since he hurt his hip in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
See, so yeah, I don't know where I was wanting to go with that, but I mean, someone that huge, you know what I mean? Or here's the thing: LeBron should be able to pull that team up on his shoulders and win games. Correct? I mean, he's quote unquote the
He's doing he's
best.
doing all he can right now. 29, 7, and 9.
Yeah, but maybe I'm looking at this all wrong. But when I think of greats, okay, like Jordan or just somebody, anybody, they, no matter who they have, they're gonna win games. They're gonna figure out how to get these players more involved, getting more points in. Am I wrong?
Sure. No, you're right. LeBron's averaging 9 assists a night. So no, I mean you're right. I just think I think they got to get Thomas healthy, and it looks like optimistically it's going to be January. Let's hope it's before the All Star break. But I mean they're not healthy. I think Derrick Rose is actually their third leading scorer at like 14 points a game. I just they're going to have to find a rhythm, which I'm not sold on Tyronn Lue as their coach for some reason. He seems like a guy like LeBron can coach him.
Sure. Now,
So I
let,
don't
let me
know.
let me ask you this. I'm gonna throw this out here. I like asking you questions, getting your reactions.
Mm,
Who has a better chance this year to win an NBA championship? Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics.
oh man, right now as a Laker fan, it hurts me to say this. Like 20 years ago, but the Celtics, they're 9-2. They've won 9 in a row. Kyrie Irving, who they got from Cleveland, is averaging 22 points and almost 6 assists a game. And they're doing it without one of their top players, Gordon Hayward, who had like one of the nastiest injuries on opening night with his ankle. And I like them a lot better. And Brad Stevens is a fantastic coach. So obviously, I would take Boston over Cleveland right now.
Okay, no, I and that just I like I said, I like asking you the questions. So, who has a better chance this year of winning in the Eastern Conference? Pacers, Cavs.
Cleveland's almost in a situation with LeBron. I've always feel like he's so big and strong and so dominant, and that's a team you can't count out, especially 11 games into the season of an 82
Sure.
game season.
Yeah,
I always would have to go with them for sure. Indiana's young. Nate McMillan, the Pacers coach, is 42-40 as the head coach. You have Cleveland for sure.
sure, man. And like I said, it's still early. We could be jumping the gun on stuff. Cleveland could have a run, and we're going to be talking about them and how crazy it was to even think the Celtics was going to even be in the playoffs.
Right, absolutely.
So that's the fun about the NBA. But something else is starting this weekend's college basketball. Uh,
Yes, love it.
yeah, it is the season. So, but I enjoy this time of year. You have your Thanksgiving, Christmas, then you got your basketball, your college basketball. With all the scandals and everything that goes on with it. Wondering about boosters and all this stuff. It's nice to see kids go out there and want to win. You know, NBA,
Absolutely.
it has it. For me, it just is kind of one of them things where they're getting paid a lot of money. It's what it is. But I enjoy watching some college basketball. And
Absolutely.
obviously we have Purdue and Indiana University here, as well as Butler. So we get a little trifecta of it. But something
Absolutely.
something I wanted to bring up to you, with the Boilermakers. Uh you ever think they're going to get over the hump?
I do. I do. I think this is the year actually. Believe it or not, I'm like I don't know. This is their 120th season
That's
for
insane.
basketball. They're coming in ranked 20th in the top 25. And they're facing some adversity. I mean, they lost the Big Ten Player of the Year. They lost Caleb Swanigan, but they got 6 players returning. You got Isaac Haas, who's 7'2". I'm still old school enough to believe I want a big guy. I always want a good center. Vincent Edwards, I think he's going to have a big year. Ryan Klein's always an outside threat, and but the biggest, I think, the guy that I'm watching is the sophomore Carson Edwards. I think he's going to have a breakout year. Um, he he's poised for a breakout year. He played in all 35 games last year as a freshman. He only started 21 of those games, but Purdue was 18-3 in those 21 starts, and they were 14-3 when he scored more than 10 points. So I'm looking at sophomore Carson Edwards. This is going to be a breakout season for him.
No, I have no doubts the team, you know what I mean? They got a solid team, but it just seems like, at least for the past few years, with Painter and everything, it seemed like almost, how do I want to say it? He couldn't get over the hump. You know what I mean? He'd make it to Sweet 16 or whatever, and he just can't get past that and get down to the Final Four. I mean, what? I don't want to use the word mentally and all that stuff, but that's got to weigh on a guy, yeah?
It does, but I think they were regular season Big Ten champs last year.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, I'm a little biased. Now that I don't live in Indiana, I root for both Purdue and IU, and it used to not be that way. But no, I think I was just looking at the roster. I'm looking at these guys, and I think he's got some guys that want to play basketball and are going to play great team basketball. And I like their size. I like their outside shooting ability, and I think we're fast. So I'm no, I think this is the year. I think this is the year.
Well, we shall see. We ought to bet on that. I could go for some betting with you.
All right.
Maybe we can do some sort of bracket too. Get it online. Hell, maybe even try getting our listeners in on a bracket. So,
Absolutely.
man, closer to time, we'll come to some thoughts, and we'll get something up. That'll definitely be fun. I love March Madness. You know, my wife, she enjoys playing. You know what I mean? Playing the brackets and all that stuff. I mean, it's a time of year that, you know, with everything that goes on in the world, that you kind of can just sit back and just watch basketball.
Dude, you think Trump's going to do a bracket?
Oh man, do I think?
He's definitely
Nah,
not. Right?
Yeah, he didn't do one last year, did he? He didn't do one this year,
The
did he?
bracketology?
Yeah, he
No,
didn't.
because yeah, that's right.
I don't know what his excuse was, but you know it. I would like to see his brat. He probably don't even follow basketball.
No, I think he had himself winning.
Yeah, he just put Trump all over. Just turned it in. You know,
How could you lose? How could
yeah,
you lose?
you can't lose. So, oh man, yeah, but no, I mean, look at the March Madness stuff. You know, this is the whole BCS tournament's coming up. You know, now they do 4 teams and all that stuff. Could college football do something along those lines? You know, do
Uh,
like
I think so. I hope so. I think it would make it a lot more fun.
yeah, I mean, but how would they structure that? Because you got, you know, in basketball you can go play, and then a couple nights later play again. You
Right.
know,
That would be the toughest part. It would be fun to watch, but it would also be like in basketball where it was we're in month 9 of the playoffs. You'd be like,
exactly.
"Oh dear lord."
You know, so it kind of makes, which if you have a bunch of games, if you have, let's say, 32 teams, I'm just throwing the number out, you could have several games starting out and then go weekly when you get down to like the last 8. 'Cause that'd be what, 4 weeks? A month?
Right.
So, kind of, you know, you make it to this, and at some point start cutting it down to the week, but play every 5 days. I mean, there's times, you know, the NFL has short weeks.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot on a young kid. By the time they'd be so banged up by the time they got to the pros. Look at the bowl games and stuff now. There's like a month between their last game of the season and like their bowl game. I've always hated that. They're not the same
Exactly.
team. A month of no games,
Exactly. Yeah,
having a month
it's
bye. We got a 4 week bye.
yeah, and they because they I'm sure they don't practice every day. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they
No,
practice, but
no, they're in the classrooms.
supposedly,
Oh,
right?
yeah, they're in the classrooms. Yes, all the
But
Rhodes scholars nowadays.
something I do want to go back to is we're talking about basketball. What do you think about IU? I mean, they just got a new coach. After all that, I mean, what? How are they looking
compared
in
to
your eyes?
compared to Purdue, IU's not looking so hot. They're not looking very hot anyway. Archie Miller, it's going to be his first year, but dude, he had great success at Dayton. What was he? He was 139 and 63 as the head coach at Dayton,
Yeah, but that's
and he's
Dayton.
got a. I know, but I think he has a really high basketball IQ. I really do. But I mean, like Purdue's ranked 20th, and I think
Yeah, but
IU is ranked. Go
uh,
ahead.
no, you're fine. Not to interrupt you, but a Dayton schedule is different than IU a Big Ten schedule because now they got to go play Iowa, they got to go play Michigan State, Michigan, Purdue. You know, it's going to be tougher on him. I mean, it ain't going to be a cakewalk by all means.
No, no, no. He's got to do better than Crean though. I couldn't stand Tom Crean.
Really, why didn't you like about him?
Just dude, I didn't like looking at him, the hair and everything. I don't know. I didn't like him, dude. He looked like a guy that would like try to freaking finger you in the parking lot of a Buffalo Wild Wings. I didn't like that guy.
No, I get you. I get you. Now, who was the coach before them? Like Samson or something?
I think there was a brief guy in between. I think. I'm
Yeah,
not
because
sure.
he there was something about a scandal or something. I don't know. I mean, college basketball, man, is just riddled with that stuff anymore. You know, these kids they go in. These colleges make huge money off of them. Now, I look back. College educations aren't cheap. I mean, I didn't go, but I looked into it, and it's not cheap. But these players, these student athletes, they're getting a free college ride. You know, do they need more? I mean, they get their meals taken care of. They get a place
No,
to sleep.
absolutely not. It annoys the shit out of me when people act like that these guys need some incentive to play. Here's an incentive. You're not going to be $80,000 in debt when you graduate. How's that?
Exactly, and it just blows my mind. I mean, because you know and the thing is, these kids that are going to go into the NBA, they know they're going to be, first round draft pick and all that stuff. They're able to go get these huge loans and stuff, and it boggles my mind because I don't know. It's a sensitive subject for me. But in the same sense, these colleges are making millions off of them.
Yeah, I mean I think that's just part of it, man. I mean, you don't think that the owners of the teams in the NFL make more money than the players and the coaches? I mean, they do. So I mean,
No,
deal with
I
it.
get you. I, I guess when people just they see it as a university taking advantage of kids. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's kind of like that's what you got. That's what brought you there. You know what I mean?
I get you. I get you. Hey, you got some static on your end and your back. Uh,
All right.
all right, all right, all right.
I'm covered in tinfoil by the end of the show.
All right, we need to get you video stat.
I made a tinfoil suit.
A tinfoil suit. I'm not even gonna go there. But
But dude, IU's ranked though. They are ranked above the SCLSU Mud Dogs because Coach Klein is now coaching the basketball team, and they are ranked right below Grand Lakes University, whose head coach Thornton Mellon has injected life into this team with the triple Lindy offense. So that's good.
yeah, no, I mean that is good. So I don't know. Like I said, the season's starting. It's gonna be pretty fun. I think Duke was ranked number one and Michigan State number two.
Yeah,
Ah, so we'll see. You know what I mean? But all right, well, I think this is a good stopping point for our show.
absolutely.
So again, check us out. On Facebook and Twitter. It'll keep you updated throughout the day and give you some good material to read.
Yeah, like and share us, man, and we'll keep this thing going as long as we can, and I hope we appreciate it because we appreciate you guys.
Yes, yes, I will be here for a while. I'll say that. So till next time, see y'all later.
Bye, guys.